unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherlands calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.
Good. Greetings, everyone. Greetings, you all that are joining us live today on the Pan African Daily TV. You have the latest member here that is the founder, co-founder also of Pan African Daily, and he has been busy all this while, and we never had time to get in touch with him. And now he is back today, connecting with us and bringing us some good vibes from the continent, and particularly in Kenya. Today, we want to know what's going on in Kenya. Why are the Kenyan youth so obsessed with this government? And of course, we didn't want to put a focus on His Excellency Ruto, but if we want to compare from the Uhuru period and now to the Ruto period, where the young people were saying, this is the period for the hustlers, this is the president that is going to support the hustlers. But now we're getting some feedback on things that are not going on, particularly businesses and youth. And just a couple of days, youths were on the street and again and again. So it was nice. It is nice to have you here, Amos. It's been a while. I just had to, first of all, I think the last time we met in Cape Town, thanks to you. And everything went well. And ever since, we didn't see each other again. So what's happening? What has been going on with your life and your business and your foundation? I see you're doing amazing work. You're doing designing. I hope you brought some samples here to show our audience of what Lloyd Foundation is doing. And the other day I saw you even kind of like design T-shirts, right? With stitches and stuff like that. Congratulations to you so very much. And it will be a pleasure for us not just to know about the current situation in Kenya, but also to know you as an individual, again, the brand of AMOS. And for those that don't know, I mean, AMOS is a household name. I mean, if you talk about, you can't talk about Pierre Lumumba without talking about AMOS. And no matter what happens, history is history, and history remains the same. When we're talking about the Pierre Lumumba Foundation today and the Pan-African Quiz, I mean, I remember in 2020 how we fought and created all these different country chapters with AMOS. I'm sorry. If I had to have Pierre Lumumba on the show, it must be done with the help and assistance of AMOS. So actually, my brother, I really congratulate you as a youth coming up, that you are engaged in different sectors. So how are you doing?
Yeah, thank you very much, my sister Susan. I'm doing quite well. It has been a while indeed, and I'm happy that I'm connecting with millions of Africans watching online, and also those are on YouTube and on Facebook. And I'm very happy that I'm connected once again to this amazing platform. First of all, I want to say thank you. I'm a mentee of Professor Pierre Lumumba, and I don't take that for granted. It's through him that we are now able to do all that we are now doing, because he has already mentored us, and it is now our time now to bring transformation to this continent, something that I'm really proud of. So business-wise, we are doing fine so far. I mentor young people into acquiring the right skills in tailoring, fashion design, machine repair, and maintenance, beadwork, and also in terms of interior design. So far we have mentored 210 and majority of them have gotten opportunity in different companies. Others we are working with, and others are starting up their businesses, as you have been seeing on our social handles and on our website, and even the
Mm-hmm.
testimonials from what they're doing currently. So I must say that I'm getting happy, but still we still need to empower more young people. My dream is to empower 10 million plus young people across Africa with the relevant skills
Mm.
before I take my last breath. So that's my dream. Um, when you come back to Kenya, I'm so happy to be a Kenyan. I'm so happy to be an African. I'm proud to be an African. And I must say that I too respect the president. He was the duly elected president. I respect. But we must stand up when some things are not right, when they are not done in the right way, as said.
That's
You
true.
and me remember, Dr. Susan, that when our president was getting into the office, there are things that he promised the common mwananchi, the common citizen, let me say so, which to date has never been fulfilled. And these are the things that really anger the current generation. Because if you say one thing today and the next day you say something else, is not quite good at all. I've been talking to people who are closely with Ruto, with President Ruto. Even the daughter is my good friend. I've been quietly engaged in some of the people uh, that are working with him closely, and we have been trying to tell these people to at least make some sense on him, because I think when you become a president, you are not a president of yourself. You are a servant. You are a public servant, and you need to serve the people. So when something is wrong
Sure.
within the people, then you must come out and be with the people. So the main reason that we are against this finance bill of 2024, I know majority of people don't know what is happening with in Kenya when it comes to the finance bill. But I just want to say that the bill makes up part of the Kenya 2024 2025 budget, and propose taxes eyes on various goods and services. And these services, some of these tax that are being imposed, the reason why the citizen don't want them is because that taxes have been imposed on things like bread. Imagine something that was not tax, uh, Dr. Susan. Our bread was tax
Wow.
free, zero. Now it's going to be taxed up to 16% VAT. Tell me that poor
What?
grandma in the village. Yeah, 16% from zero. So you can imagine, huh? That means that a common mwananchi will not be able to afford that. And these are basic food that people need to have. Another thing that is really saddening and very saddening is that the increase in sanitary pads and diapers. So tell me, if a young girl in rural Samburu or rural Turkana who can't still afford sanitary pads now, if you tax this commodity, how will she afford it? So those are the things that are really making Kenyans angry, because when President Ruto got into power, he promised uh, people that he will make things affordable for the common mwananchi. But when you make things so tight for the common mwananchi, it's not good, it's not fair for them. And I want to give you a good example. We have MPs who have several cars, and these cars are paid with Kenyans' taxpayers' money. Why don't we reduce some of the cars instead of imposing some of these taxations to the common mwananchi? How will it feel that a poor girl from a rural area in Busia cannot afford sanitary pads, and you are driving luxurious cars going to parliament in the name of supporting the common citizen? And that is not the thing you are doing. So we must decolonize the mind of our leaders. And I'm happy that the Gen Z are rising up, and even the millennials are also rising up, because they are sick and tired, and they're telling our government that we can do it if you can't do. We can fix this continent, we can fix this country, and it will start just simple like that in Kenya, and it expand in other areas. You have seen what has happened in Burkina Faso. You have seen what is happening in other different countries like South Africa. South Africa just finished
Mm-hmm.
their election the other day. You have seen, and that can show you that young people and the people are tired of bad leaders who promise bad governance to the people. So that is what is happening
Yes.
here in Kenya as today, Dr. Susan. And we are not going to relent about this as long as the finance bill is not put aside and drafted and the amendments that needs to be done be amended in it, then trust me, we are not going to go back. It's now time for us to tell the president, we respect you, but also we are the people who put you into this power. You must respect our grievances. You must make business easy in our country. You must make that rural grandmother, rural girl have some basic commodities at affordable price. So we cannot be saying one thing, Dr. Susan, and speak the other version. Our president is our president of PR. I'm sorry to say that. He's very good in speaking, but very poor in implementing what he says. So he needs people like us to help him implement the things that he can't implement. And we can only do this. The best language we can speak is by telling him that we really need you to kick this out and listen to us, the people. We are your president because we are the people who elected you into that seat. And the same goes to our
Yeah.
members of parliament, who some of them have been bought with money, and now they are trading with the lives of the common mwananchi that voted them in. So, Dr. Susan, we must come out clear as young people to condemn uh, such kind of issues that are not good to our country and are also not good to our continent.
Um, this is very pathetic. Of course, it's sad because the president, whom all of us actually, like you said, he's just a good PR. All the promises, and we dance and we like, this is the president for the hustlers. And just today, just a matter of fact, today, it's not even up to even up to his first term, half of the first term in office, and we already seen. I'm struggling to load this video to share with the audience because this is alarming. I mean, trust you. I trust Kenyans, the young people of Kenyans, and the people of Kenya will not take this line. I love the Kenyan politics because when it doesn't go, it doesn't go. It's not a mess. They don't waste time on you or begin to lobby some kind of stuff. If it is not working in Kenya, it's not gonna work, no matter how you do it. So I don't know if you compare. So basically, you're telling us even the Uhuru period was better because I mean, leaving bread, food, which is affordable for people every day. I mean, the common person can have bread. And secondly, on sanitary why do they always target girls and women? The kind of basic things that are natural things to have. I mean, what is actually going? Where do you think this issue is coming from? Where do you think the problem is coming from?
It's interesting. Is interesting. The question we should be asking ourselves, Dr. Susan, is that why don't they have one car as our leaders? Why do they have so many cars with so many chase cars, and yet they want our ladies to have no sanitary pads? Is that not unfair to the country? And these cars that they're having is fueled by our own money. Why don't they cut off their expenditure, their luxurious expenditure, so that the common wananchi can get good services that they promise? I must say that the Uhuru regime was much better than this regime. I'm not sorry about it,
Mm.
but I know the people of Kenya know about it, and people are really trying to even bring some of his wisdom, the way he had been talking that we must fix this nation. Mm. And we can't fix
It
our
is
nation with
terrible.
imposing high taxation to the common mwananchi. There are a lot of things that we can do.
Yes.
Some of these MPs have 100 of hectares. Some of these government officials have bought so many luxurious properties, and yet the common mwananchi is suffering, and they continue to pass the policies that don't favor the common mwananchi. But also, I must admit that
Mm-hmm.
those MPs that are really with the Kenyan, like today they were voting, there are those MPs that voted today for Kenya, and about 104 that supported that were saying that these bills should be rejected. And we must acknowledge such young people and such MPs that are really pushing the agenda of the common wananchi. But that those ones that have been bought and they have been pocketed, and we want to say this, that if you make bad policies and you have kids as the members of parliament, it will still affect your kids, it will affect your family. You might be having a lot of money, but soon you will go and your kids and your great grandkids will remain. So if you make policies that don't favor the common citizen, it will not only affect your family, but it affect the generation and generation to come.
Absolutely. This is a mess. I mean, Kenya, ever since this president came on board, we haven't had peace. Whether it's in Haiti, he's the one negotiating deals to send policemen to Haiti to fight what he calls terrorists, and inland policies is not doing better. But you see him moving from one country to the other. It's as if they just get votes just to go around negotiating and drinking tea parties and being happy to just be somewhere on the flight. I mean, this is really crazy. I'm so sorry, but people, take a look at this. Take a look at what Amos is trying to tell us here,
Yeah,
you see, like
that was
you
today.
were the frontliner
Yes, yes, that
yesterday.
was today. That's a group of young people.
Just
And
So
I
what
must
were they
say, Dr.
saying in
Susan,
Swahili?
I,
What was they
I
saying?
must
Yes.
say, I must also say that this was a peaceful demonstration. You can see the way young people are very organized, and it was very peaceful, no destruction of property, no insult. But the message was very clear to the president that we are tired with the finance bill and we need this to be changed. And if you don't change it, then we are kicking you out as young people. That was the message.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Get it done or you step out. Finish. There's no
Yeah.
negotiation again. And I'm so proud. Kenyans, you can, I mean, they can mess around, but when the youth rise up to say it will not happen, it will not happen. And I love actually those MPs that, voted, and the youths that actually were mobilized. So the message is going across. How long what do you anticipate would happen after this?
Dr. Susan, I can tell you that it's going to be worse than expected. Today we were having a couple
Oh.
of meetings with young people across Africa, just evening before coming to this interview, and I tell you it is not business as usual, because the current generation have always been neglected in issues to do with policies. And if they think it's going to be easy, then watch out the pace in the couple of days coming. It's not going to be easy for them. It's either the bill
Hmm.
is rejected completely, or we will not elect the current president come next term. Simple as clear,
Hmm.
because the current generation are even mobilizing people. If this the way we can give power to somebody that we think can deliver, and then he messes around with us, then we are going to remove him in power. And we have the capability of doing that. Young people, has the percentage here, not just in Kenya, but in the entire continent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh my God. I hear that. I hear that. Hear what our brother Imhotep is saying, and it's true. Like, Of course, he had a deal with YouTube and TikTok, and so that young Kenyan creators can monetize and make money in Kenya. I think that's the reason why every YouTuber goes to promote him to, to push his agenda, because they thought that was a means of creating jobs. You see, they always give you with one hand and they take it with double hands, even. So never was anything. It could never have been just so right the way he was doing, and thinking that, oh, by creating content. What do you mean create content? Who on earth, as a leader, has ever put tax on bread and on sanitary parts? I always say, why do they target the women and the girls? I mean, this is crazy. We stand in solidarity with the Kenyan people.
Uh, uh,
Yes.
our daughter herself is using the sanitary pads. How do you tax something that is very essential like that for our young women and even ladies and girls? It's not ethical at all.
Of
And the
course,
worst of it, he
he's going to
promises
say,
he promises one thing today, he delivers the opposite. Like he promises the content
oh,
creators that he will make the platform affordable for them and make them earn money out of it. Now, if you check the new proposal of the finance bill, it has double taxation of the content creators. How are the youth going to benefit? Now, for you to acquire phone is going to be double amount. And because they know that the youth are using more phones, so they want to take advantage of young people. Now the mobile transactions are becoming too expensive. If you send money, it's double the amount. That is what the proposed finance bill is saying. And this is why you are seeing hungry Kenyans on the street, and they are not mobilized by any politicians. They are common wananchi coming to say their rights, that we voted you in, but here you got it wrong. You must amend it.
wow. Brother Ennis is saying, it's because everybody needs bread and all women need pad. So taxing on that, like, it's something that is mandatory whether you like it or not. You see how they actually put their foot in our mouth. And even like Brother Heru was saying, you have never heard this leader use even the word Pan-Africanism. I'm telling you, it's a disappointment. It's such a disgrace. It's such a disgrace, because I cannot imagine how we were happy. We were, honestly dancing, and that at least the Kenyan people would have a leader that understands, and they say because he was a hustler. So what happened? What currently just happened with this leader? How are we going to deal with politics of Africa when they say A and they do B and C?
I think there is too much greed, and this is what is killing our continent. Not unless we live to appreciate one another as brother and sister, and we embrace the spirit of Ubuntu and the spirit of Ubuntu, that is humanity, then Dr. Susan will always get it wrong. We must live within the spirit of love. When we love one another, we will not do things like doing high taxation to bills like the health. Health is now becoming something too expensive for Kenyans to afford. And I know this is happening in so many African countries. When
Oh,
somebody
sure.
dies, he has to pay a lot of money. When somebody is sick, he has to pay a lot of money. And health should be affordable. You have known, you have seen Europe, Asia, the way their system of health works. They have made things affordable for their people. But us, we want to go push out some bills which are not good for the sake of our own stomach. But I want to tell them, even if you steal billions of money, you will still die. It will not be enough. But if you fight for the right of the people, it will remain. And that's why we have people like Thomas Sankara. We have people like Julius Nyerere who fought for this continent. But if we have a generation like now our president, what he has started, I'm sorry, this is going to end in a bad way.
We hope it doesn't come to that. We hope that the lawmakers will do the right thing, because I know you Kenyans, I mean, when they go to the court, just like the issue with Haiti, that demobilization came, and we also shared that information here and reach out to everyone. And so the bill was reversed. We think that's just the best thing to do. Anything that is not right, you stand up. You stand up. And like you said, I think you're helping, isn't it? You're helping
Yes,
him to
what,
rule
what I want to
better.
make clear, Dr. Susan, what I want to make it clear, as I told you, the current youth who are protesting, they are not protesting to destroy properties, to insult. No, they are telling our president, "You got it wrong here. Please amend it." That is what young people want. They don't want to insult him. They don't want to tell him all kind of things. And that's why you saw the demonstrations today. They were not targeting specific community or specific tribal line. It is young people from different parts of the countries, because demonstrations were even happening in our president's area, and you saw people turn out in large numbers. And my brother Patrick can tell you that is because the high taxations is killing the common mwananchi as we speak now. So when you raise it again, it will even be more worse to the common mwananchi.
What is Wanaichi? I love the word. You've been saying it a couple of times.
Uh, the common
Citizens,
mwananchi means common citizen. It's a Swahili word.
common citizens, Wanaichi.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah,
Of course.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it can never be business as usual, Amos. I mean, we're really saddened about this information. And as I saw the rioting, I was like, who can actually explain us what is going? Because I didn't actually put my focus on that. I mean, till now we have seen Kenyans are happy with, and they're really busy now, as I know, making money on social media because their presidents have been lobbying, with TikTok and YouTube to allow monetization, which is not the case in many African countries. So, I mean, that was already some kind of like creativity. But now you see the ripple effect is he who owns you funds you. When they fund you, they own you. So that's why his image, and I think that was the reason he actually did that kind of deal so that the content creators can go shouting hallelujah to his name, and then not knowing that what is coming is going to be very disastrous. So when you look at this situation, you like a startup helping a lot of young mentees developing techniques or fashion and stuff like that. If such things would continue, how is it going to affect you?
It's going to affect the people that we mentor, and it's going not just me, but a lot of startup in Kenya. Kenya has a lot of startup youngsters doing amazing work. Not just our company alone, but there are other organizations also working very hard to at least try and empower one another. So it's really going to affect the entire country. And the end result is that we'll have criminals, and we'll have people who are displaced. And these are the things that we don't want to witness. That's why we are going on street to demonstrate peacefully that we respect you, Mr. President, but please amend these bills that are not favorable to the common citizen.
Mhm. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Yes. And if it doesn't happen, what steps you continue?
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
The best language that the president will get is through peaceful demonstration. We don't intend to destroy properties. We don't intend to insult. But if this insists to the extent that he will not, then we will await for him 2017 when we'll be doing our election, and we will show him what we can do as young people.
2027, you mean? Yes.
Yeah,
Um,
2027.
uh, yeah, of course. I mean, he's not going to stay a president for life when he start acting like that. But the only thing they do is he's gonna play this mind game, and during the elections, you see another person. You see totally another person. And the one thing that I respect that and you are a mentor. You've been mentored by Professor Pierre Lumumba, and you had served under him as a PA for quite a long time, and you understand what conscious demonstration is. I don't doubt that if you be the front line of such a demonstration, it will go wrong. Yeah, because we condemned from our side, for the past, we said no burning of infrastructures, because at the end of the day, the taxpayers' money is what is going to pay for it. So peaceful demonstrations are all over the world. In Europe, they demonstrate every day. In China, in America, every day. But if you are demonstrating, you have to understand that property would be taxed on you. You understand?
Mm,
So yeah, and we want to keep
So
you people
one
safe,
thing,
please.
one thing that I must say, Dr. Susan, is that the current generation know the importance of infrastructure. The current generation knows the importance of keeping one's another's business safe. That's why if you are
Yes.
watching the footage of today's demonstration, no property was damaged at all. And you can go in, Google, try to find out, consult. You'll find out that there was no property. What normally triggers young people and people start maybe coming in with different things is when the police comes in and start using live bullets and throwing tear
Brutalization.
gas.
Yes.
Oh, yes. And the police officers should be our servant. In Africa, it's very strange that they are called police force. They should not be a force. They should they should be servant. They should be police servants. It should be mentioned police service and not police force. But in Kenya, we have this way of we want to do everything with force, even where there should not be force. Like for today, it was very peaceful demonstration. The past 2 days, it has been very peaceful demonstration, no destruction of anything, but they have been instructed by their commander that they now use tear gas, and this is what normally triggers people. Because when you demonstrate peacefully without interfering with anything, then why must you throw tear gas and live bullets to the common citizen?
It seems as if, you know, those tear gas things are always like it's a business. Honestly, it's not a coincidence. I don't believe nothing that I see again from these leaders. It's like
I
even,
can't agree
you know,
more.
they have to cause, yes, they have to cause the rioting and then use the tear gas and then apply for fundings, you know, to support because we had a crisis. So I hope you are conscious, you people are conscious of that. The most important thing, protect your lives and property.
Yes, we must protect our life, but also we must stand up. If we don't stand up, then there will be nobody will stand up, and everything will be mess in our country. Because if we keep quiet, the next day it will happen again. The next day it will happen again. How will we move? Right now, even there is taxation in the motor vehicles. Trust me, those who are using the commuters vans and the matatus, they are getting it very hard if this bill will be passed, because the amount they will pay will be double. So you can imagine somebody who earns a little money staying in a slum still pay a lot of money, yet somebody somewhere has a lot of choppers and has a lot of cars, which he doesn't use, has a lot of mansion, and he only sleeps in one house. He can only drive one car. You mean it's so disgusting and so stressing if you can get such.
And yes, it is. It is. It is. It's really, really stressing because honestly, I can feel your pain. I can feel the pain of the young people who were really optimistic, and he was highly elected by the youth, isn't it?
Yes, that's why we are coming out. We gave him the chance and we trusted him that he will deliver, but he's doing the opposite. And we are telling him that we are capable of removing him into power if he continues to insult and put things that don't favor the common citizen, and pass bills that don't
Mhm.
favor the common citizen. Because we are the people, we are the majority. I know some people are saying, oh, young people normally talk. When it comes to election, we don't register. This time is totally different. And I can assure you, Dr. Susan, watch this space. The Gen Z and the millenniums are coming out in large numbers and they're saying it is enough. If it can't work out, we are going to fix this country.
Power to the Kenyan youth. And of course, I do believe you, Amos. I know the mentorship you've been on, and he is not keeping quiet on anything and never will do that. So we know the household that raised you, and so we trust every single thing that you're saying, and we know that Kenyans know better. They will do better. So it is not only about the bills in Kenya, it's about Africa, like you said. When we have a role model that is a continent or a country, others would follow. So let me just play with your thoughts. What would you think Raila Odinga will be thinking right now? Like, I told you.
It is a lesson to him that, of course, I appreciate his fights, and he has really fought for us for so long. We appreciate the wisdom he has put into us. But I know that he's happy because we can demonstrate peacefully without being told by him when things are wrong. And you have seen.
Yes,
And that shows you that young people are now liberal, and we are not affiliated with our tribal, we are not going back to our tribal politics. We are now focusing on what
absolutely.
can put our country to the next level. And this generation is rising. It's not just about Kenya. I've mentioned about South Africa. You have seen what has happened there. That shows you that this generation is totally different, and it will happen. There are several elections coming in Africa. You'll see in a couple of months some changes when it comes to young people having positions to lead. So what we are saying is that we are ready to work with the president who really understand what Pan-Africanism is. I mean, look at our president. He goes into Europe, he goes into Asia, he sends even our soldiers into Haiti. You see, and yet we have issues in Southern Sudan, we have issues in Sudan, we have issues in DRC. Are they not our brothers? Can we not support them and bring unity there? Why Haiti? It's because of the funding. So we must stop this greediness. Greediness is what is killing our country, is what is killing our continent. And if we don't speak about it, then it will never change. So this is the time for us young people to come out.
Super, perfect. I love it. That's the spirit we need here on Pan African Daily. When we get feedbacks, from our mentees and from the young people with whom we have bet and set our hands on their back and say, just go, we are there for you. And you bring us such feedback. That's what we want to see. It's not enough just sitting and complaining and wailing or dying at the Mediterranean. We have to stay and fix it. Nobody's going to come to fix this continent. We have to do it, and you're doing it on the right time. So congratulations. Let me just take us back to another point. What actually do you do? I mean, you're busy training tellers, young tellers, or designers, and I see your designs everywhere. You are on Facebook. You are everywhere. In South Africa, we met, and most of your designs, I have a couple of them. And what is new in your shop? What is new in Lloyd Foundation? Just tell us a little bit about your foundation, and let's see how how far you've come.
We Thank you very much. We do quite a number of stuff. As you can see just on my back, this is a bag. So we do quite a number of African products. These are ladies' bag. We do, just want to show you some of the things we do. These are African shirts, you can see. These are some of the things that we do. And these are purely made by young people. You can see here, these are crochet. These are designed by young people here. Yes, you can see, you can have a look. We are also doing quite amazing hoodies here. Just want to show you. So these are jackets, and these are winter jackets. As you can see here, they have a fleece, so it's very good to keep you warm. So these are some of the things that we are doing at Lawi Africa. They are purely African made products. I can come on and show you more. These are some of the hand woven outfits. You can see here, this is hand woven. So these are just some of the things that we do, and we have, you can see this one we have done for one of our sisters there. So reclaiming our narrative as Africans. So we do such kind of products. Yes, so we do quite a number of stuff at here at Lawi Afrique. We do bags, we do clothes. We are also training people now to make how to repair machine, sewing machines. We do a lot of interior designs, and as you can see, even my shirt is done with African print. So we really want to promote the local market, and that's why we are training young people on how to make some of this stuff. Yes.
I mean, of course, I've been following you on your Facebook page. I mean, you really, really, you sell online. Do you supply to, I mean, supply globally or just in Kenya? How can they reach you? How can they order? How do you take measurements? I mean, you took mine, so I don't need to worry about that. In every collection that I want to have, I mean, I know you have my measurement, but what if Zenobia or
Yeah.
Cheryl say, "Oh, I want to get some"? How do you get to them?
We ship. Actually, right now we are working on about 100 pieces as we speak now. Some laptop bags coming to the US in Ohio. So we ship with the local people here, and also sometimes we ship with the DHL. So we ship across the world and in Africa also. So trust you, it will reach you. So if anybody wants to reach out to us, our website is www.lawiafricfoundation.org. www.lawiafricfoundation.org, and our email is info at lawiafricfoundation.org, or lawiafricfoundation@gmail.com. So you can reach out to us that all the contacts are there, and we deliver across the world. So is upon the type of products you want. We do quite a number of products. So if you want to see some of the products that we do, you can visit our website. You will be able to get some of the products that we do. Beside that, uh, I'm also an event organizer. You know that, Dr. Susan, we have done quite a number of stuff with you across the continent, and I've really supported so many Africans when it comes to organizing events and business summits. So that is another area of my passion. I'm also an author of 3 books. The fourth one is coming soon. So, so once the fourth one is out, I'll also share with you. And I'm a social entrepreneur. I just love giving back to the society. With the little I get, it goes back to the society. And lastly, I'm a Pan-Africanist. I just love Africa. I love anything to do with Africa. That's why I'm staying in Africa. I'm sleeping in Africa. I'm doing everything in Africa.
I stay in Africa, I live in Africa. Of course, to those of you watching us, Amos is very correct. I mean, we want to change the landscape of how events are done on the continent, particularly like, face-to-face seminars, online lectures is everywhere now, but we want to get hands-on on how events are done. A lot of people, the continent is just filled with people. We went to South Africa, there were more than 4 million people, right? I mean, so to put such a massive thing together is not easy. So we actually, together with Lloyd Foundation, getting into teaching and also organizing, master classes and events that are classical. Of course, we've been doing events for all. That's our baby steps thing. So I mean, recently you were in Kenya, in Nairobi, where you did the seminar and the conference with, you organized the conference with the women, and I was so impressed. It's unfortunate I couldn't make it at that time. Yeah, but we should be looking forward to putting on a global event from one country to the other, like we said, or those that are already available. Youths are waiting. Youths want to see us live, ask questions, and feel us if we are not artificial intelligence, if we are real. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think a lot is coming up. So For those of you who actually want to reach out to Amos, I can send you his contact directly in the WhatsApp group um, that we are. If you send me your WhatsApp or mail us at panafricandaily@gmail.com, if you didn't get what he was saying clearly, I would send his contact to you. I mean, Amos is one of those that everyone needs to support. Like I said, the house that he grew up, the house that he grew in, right? I cannot thank
Yes.
all of us. African Daily has empowered a lot of young people. That's true, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. And that's the point I wanted to bring in, that, sometimes the doctor don't treat herself or himself, so it becomes very difficult. And I want to say to the people watching that the Pan-African Daily has really mentored so many young Africans. It has given many young people platform, not just young, but even Africans, platforms to connect, to network, to do business, to invest. And I think it's also very good to invest in such kind of platform if you are listening today, because these are the platform that we need for our continent to grow, so that we are able to connect Africans in diaspora, so that they can come back to Africa and see what they can do together, and see how they can invest and improve our infrastructure, improve our agricultural sector, and improve in terms even of our education and our system, because I believe Africans in diaspora are really playing major role when it comes to the liberation of our continent. They have been really supporting Africans here, and we don't take their support for granted. And so if you're listening and watching this today, please just come in and support such initiative like the Pan-African Daily. You can support our initiative, come together. We are free for investment, we are free for dialogue, we are free for networking, and we are also free to learn from you.
Sure, sure. So what is next now? And I know you have to jump into another session, and also it was a pleasure to have you. We really just wanted to know what's going on in Kenya, because Kenya, I mean, it's getting it's not getting interesting, and you need to call him on back on track, isn't it?
Thank you. Yes,
Mhm.
Dr. Susan. But as you know, this has always been my house where I grew. So I'm always ready to come in at any time to share with our people. Because I believe in Ubuntu, and I believe in Ubuntu. I believe in humanity, and I believe in love and unity. And that is what Africa needs for us to work together. And I believe if we come together as Africans, trust me, you will have an Africa that everybody will love to come into. And that's why you see everybody is fighting for Africa, not the Chinese, not the European, not the British. Everybody's fighting because they know what is there in Africa. And so Africa is the continent that if we can invest in, if we can be proud of, then trust me, we are really going to be an example to the rest of continent.
Absolute. I share. I think we're already experiencing it. We're seeing you. There never has been a time that the young people actually stood up and like, hey, now or never. Game over. We're not taking that anymore. So that's just the beginning of the renaissance of Africa, like we said yesterday. You have to go ahead. Just keep going. Just keep going. There's no turning back this time with the youth of Africa. Yeah. So thank you for your
That's
so
true.
much work. I think
Mm.
yes, a lot of people requesting your address. I will put it, I already said I'll put it in the WhatsApp group because I can't retain everything that he said here. But his
Yeah,
contact
you can
card, I have
also
his business
perhaps share
contact
them
card.
my
I will
personal
also
number.
give him. Yes, that's what I said.
Mm.
Yeah, we will
Yeah.
do that. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. So thank you so much, and we see us next time again. I know you're in a rush to attend another meeting right now.
Yeah.
We're
Thank
going
you.
to
Thank
see
you
us
so much,
shortly.
Dr.
Yeah.
Susan, for bringing this together. And thank you all Africans watching in Africa, in diaspora, and wherever you are in. And my last part goes to the young people. We are the people. It is now or never. Let's stand up and let's
Yeah.
transform this continent. Thank you.
Ashe, Bayete.
Mm.
Tuko
Yeah.
pamoja. Karibuni.
Pamoja.
Asante sana.
Asante.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Mm.
Enen. Thank you, Evans. Wow, good, wonderful. I mean, I think we're rounding up today because that just dropped on us. We wanted to have the youth of the PLO Lumumba mentee today. They had a session in Ghana, and Ghana is totally blackout. It's raining out there. And for the past 2 weeks, it has been going on. That's why we even are not having correspondents. Al Wahab Farouk. I think reparations. What is going on in Ghana? You're out there. You know, people cannot connect to Ghana because of rainfalls and no power and that. Can you confirm that reparations, my sister? Can you? Anyway, we also see, yeah, thank you, Brother Marshall. Thank you. Yeah. Amos has been very impulsive. We do know he's not like a child, but he's the first son of the PLO Lumumba family, and he grew up, you know, first like an orphan, and a struggling child. So, but he is pushing, he is working hard, he is reaching out. Like you see, he said he's wrote 3 books. Now he just started 2 years ago to say I have a passion for fashion and I need to mentor young people. And 2 months ago, he reached out to me because he was organizing a women's conference in Kenya. I think women in entrepreneur in Kenya, and she asked if I could be a part of that event, but it was not possible to be there. And we met in Cape Town, South Africa, in December at the One Africa also. I'm not muted. You cannot hear me, Marshall. I'm not muted. You can hear me? Okay. Anyway, I think everyone is hearing me. So, um, our sister reparations is saying Ghana is a big mess. It's in a deep crumble. I don't know. And Sister Synovia is saying the Ghanaian people have to stand up and take their rights into their hands, just like the Kenyan youths are doing. If you're watching us from anywhere in your country and you think something is not going right, you want to pass a message to Africans across the continent, contact us on Pan African Daily and we'll be ready. I'm sorry. We'll be ready to host you anytime. I'm just So yeah, I'm still sending out a call out message. If anybody would hear this message and reach out to Dr. Tony Jaja, please tell him to contact us on Pan African Daily TV. We want to get to Dr. Tony Jaja, our correspondent for East and the Horn of Africa, that's Ethiopia, Sudan, and stuff. We are worried because we haven't heard. He's not reachable on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on all his numbers. We just want to know that he is fine. We want to find out if everything is okay with him. So please, if you're hearing this message or if in any way, Dr. Tony Jaja, you would hear us, please reach back to us on Pan African Daily TV. So we thank you so very much. We thank you. Okay. So to all our people watching us here, I think we all got it from Amos. I said it again. These are the real faces. Like we had EO yesterday, you know, motivating the young people. I think it is time for us to actually give the young people the platforms, the ones that we're supporting, the ones that we're empowering. That's why, I mean, I try to reach out now. We try to reach out to the young people to bring them on the platform because most often we say we want to build the future for the young people, but you see the old people just don't want to give the elder people don't want to give a spotlight for the young people. And so Pan African Daily, I mean, we're really evolving, like let the voices come, let us hear from them so that we know where we can mentor them. We cannot completely every day be saying, "Oh no, we want we're building a future for the young people," and even starting to train them. We are not able to do that. So I think young people are rising in every country on the continent. They're getting more awoke. They are conscious. They know what they want. They know what they cannot take. Some of them are just like, I don't care what you do, but I just don't believe in anything that you do. So I care my life. I care for my life and my family, and I make sure that my family has bread and food. But you just imagine the two things that he said. This tax was levied upon sanitary pad. Who does that in the whole world? But of course, like we say, that's the most consumed business on there. But why do you target that? To put a tax on sanitary pad, and then number two, put a tax on bread. I just would not consume bread. It's simple. I would not. You boycott bread. One thing that caused the French Revolution, like I always said, we were taught the European history and even not the African history. To be honest with you, one thing that brought down France and the French Revolution was the cost of bread. I think bread was just increased by just a couple of was not cent, I think cent at that time, of francs. And the whole women went on the street, the bakers and everything, and it cost the French Revolution, the cost of bread. Because like we say, bread is life. The living bread is like word of God. And if you can stop people, you tax bread. And like what Amos was telling us, 20% of that for bread. No, Kenyans don't consume bread. Okay, you can do something else with that flour and not bread. I know you eat a lot of chapati, right? You you eat a lot of chapati. Is it chapati or chapata in Kenya? And I love it so much. It's also made out of just like pancake thing, but so nice, And so yeah, we have to make proper decisions. And really, we're calling on His Excellency Ruto, that Pan African Daily TV is calling you out, that we also are not for that bill. No, we are not for it. Excellency Ruto, hear us out. Okay? We are not for it. We are voting. We are joining the voices of the Kenyans that are marching on the street to say, we're not part of that bill. I mean, you were the same people we promoted here. You understand? We empowered the Kenyans to vote for the right president. And even if the right president that we put you are not responsible and would make such big mistakes, no, we're also going to be against you. So we are calling on His Excellency Ruto to hear us. And we have a platform for you on Pan African Daily. If you think something is not right that you need to address, you have a free space here to talk to Africans worldwide. Give them your agenda. We're not too small and ignorant for you to attend and to be on our platforms. We don't need to be like the big mega, line medias. We are the right media. You want to get to Africans, you have to come through Pan African Daily TV. So please, okay, please. And we're calling on all the leadership. It's not just Excellency Ruto. We're going to be calling your names out on Pan African Daily. So someday you have to hear us. We've been doing it, and we know you're listening. We know you're paying attention. And because we're doing it in the interest of Africa and Africans, like all of you signed in Agenda 2063, an Africa that is Africa-centered and African-driven. And so we're also holding you responsible and accountable, for the decisions you're making that is not working. And we'll be calling each and every one of you out when our young people go on the streets. So we thank all of you. Thank all of you for participating and sharing your voice. And we hope that you share this video as much as possible to get to the powerhouse of Kenya. And you young people, whether you're in Sudan or where, wake up. Wake up. It's enough. Sometimes, like Amos say, you're helping the leadership by calling them to order, by expressing your needs. but do it organizedly and peacefully. On Pan African Daily, we had condemned all the time the burning, the demonstrations that are aggressive. No, you want to make your voice heard, you get your permit to demonstrate, you have the right to demonstrate peacefully. And that's what I think Africans are doing, particularly Pan African Daily TV followers and youths that we mentor every day. They can never make such things, such bad decisions, because, of course, they are conscious. They're different breed of Africans that we're raising here on the Pan African Daily. And honestly speaking, we are not turning back anytime soon. All of us must be held accountable. It is stated in Agenda 2063. Accountability is aspiration number 2. Accountability is both you and me. We have to hold each other accountable. Okay? So if it is not working, we are there. Thank you, Marshall. So keep going, Dr. Tata. We are listening. Of course, we are listening. You know, so like I said, we should have been getting in contact with the mentees of the PLO Lumumba Foundation, but they could not be here. I hope they will be here tomorrow. But again, I want to remind you that this is June 10th and we are celebrating. Please, most of you, because we haven't done a lecture on that, just make sure you research, Google, put it in your search engines, but please follow it from the scholars. You want to understand it, read it from the African scholars that have done work on Juneteenth to explain to you why it is a Freedom Week or Freedom Month, which will continue throughout the year, as a matter of fact. So the good news is we have Professor Nina Nakweku, who's going to be with us on Saturday, just to handle the topic Juneteenth and why we must make it a global African Day, African Liberation Day. Okay. So yes, you note it down, Juneteenth. We've been celebrating, we've been posting all over. Okay. Jail all corrupt members of government. Of course, hashtag that. We can slay all the hashtag. Even right now, hashtag bill, finance bill Kenya 2024. We say no. Okay, and we're boycotting it, and we mean it. So please make sure make sure that you are following up on the latest, because it's not going to be business as usual on the continent of Africa. You better, what you came and you made your promises and the elections, want to see it done. If it's not working, explain. All right, explain to your people what's going on. Stop going around signing bills that African people would pay. They would never be responsible for that. Nobody's going to take your responsibility. So to us and our leadership and our continent and our young people and our people in general, it is time for us to take responsibility. We have to be accountable. It's reading in the Bible of Agenda 2063, Africa by Africans for Africa, African-centered agenda with all the aspirations and inspirations. Okay, and the task force that is put. I like what AMOS said, like, why do they always say forces, gendarme forces, or what does he say, police forces? And he said something, should not be force, it should be police services, not police forces. You understand? So some kind of keywords actually do not fit the job description of the honorable jobs that we're doing, right? So we're calling on our youths to be cool, to be calm, but do the right thing, okay? We don't need no aggressive young people. We're training you and we're building you, we're educating the African youth to be civil, to respect the laws of the governments and the country. But we're also calling on the government to be open to their youth, to teach them better by their examples, by role modeling them, okay? And these young people, they're the ones that are going to lead tomorrow. There's nothing that will stop it. So they'll be leading tomorrow. So if we're leading tomorrow, I mean, you can imagine the brand that is coming out here. So I want to thank all of you. And yeah, Marshall, I know we want to stay here, but I'm cold, honestly. I'm cold. I really just came to dash on this program from Kenya. So I hope you pardon me that we have to round up in just 1 hour, which is not our times, but tomorrow we'll be live again. So I just need to relax a little bit, drink a lot of water. Oh my God, look at water. I keep drinking this every day, 2 liters a day. That's how much I drink. Okay. So I'm also calling on you to drink water. Make sure you drink your water and mind African business, okay? Burkina Faso is a good example. Thank God, at least not every African country is going down. And even all the countries that we're saying, they're just challenges like in any other country, okay? It's just challenges. Every other country is facing its challenge, but that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse for us to continue doing the wrong things and justifying them. We know countries that when you point out their wrongs, they're going to tell you, what about this one too? Two wrongs can never make a right. Okay? So we're not here to say, oh, you say, oh, Dr. Tata, you know, you're doing this. And you say, oh, no, come on, you too. That's no way to grow. That's not civil. I mean, we shouldn't even start there. We're so grown and matured, and we've seen the world, particularly with this technological outburst of social media platforms. We can talk to each other, we can share, we can educate, we can teach, we can inform, we can advise ourselves. What more do we want? What more do we want? So there'll be no better time like this. Okay. This is African season. Drink, definitely drink some coffee. Okay. No. You see, but that's also one thing. Coffee is the main product that was produced here, but it was a colonial product because really I know barely very few African countries that drink coffee. I myself, I don't, because the ideology behind coffee drinking was like it's a drug. You understand? And then, it's just like cigarette, for instance. So a lot of people don't drink coffee. I usually don't drink coffee. Yeah, I don't even. I don't remember whether I tasted it once in my life. I don't. But anyway, doesn't mean that people should not drink coffee. And I have all my friends, they drink coffee, particularly Germans. Oh my God, we drink coffee like crazy. My nationals out there. So it's not an issue. So I think if we, wow, you are cold in Africa. Yes, of course. This ask Marshall. Marshall is also cold, even though the temperatures are so high out there. That's also one thing that I ask myself. Oh my God, what is going on? My nose is stuffy on the continent of Africa because we always was thinking it's cold. No, I think it's not cold, but it's rainy. It's rainy all these days. The temperatures have really dropped down, and on the continent when it's cold, it's relative. It's relative. Like when you say in the diaspora, it's cold. No. Mm-mm. Snovia, will you be in Kenya? Go and visit the head of state while you are there. Of course. Oh, come on. Oh, wait. Wait, Snovia, you trust me. We're still trying to set certain things in place before we start asking for audience to actually have one-on-ones too, right? We're not just sitting here on the camera and talking. No, we have to go hand in hand with all our needs, our requests, and what we've been observing, like observers. Hmm. They are our leaders. They are our fathers. They are our presidents. If I don't talk to my president, who should I talk to? Who should I talk to? In Europe, we are open to talk. We've met presidents. I've had endorsements from 3 German presidents. I've been invited to the German presidency. Okay. But endorsement from top politicians and decision makers, from minister president. You just give your appointment and you're received and they listen to you and they take note. Why not African presidents? I think it's the right time. We need to have this face-to-face conversation. I'm really looking forward. Okay? We're looking forward. I told young people, knock at them doors. Continue to knock at the doors. Yes, we have to. I mean, like you said, Sister Indigo, you say now it's the women. Honestly, the women too have to do something. They have to do something. The women, the wives of the presidents. Hmm. Sisters, we're calling on all of you, okay? We'll start calling your names out on Pan African Day. We're calling on you, our sisters that are married, that are sitting, the excellencies in these palaces. We'll be calling you out shortly, like Mrs. Ruto. I mean, how do you even start to think to support your husband on a bill that would put taxes on sanitary pad. You have a young daughter, very beautiful, intelligent one. I met her personally. And I know she is still in that group where they in that age group that use a sanitary pad. So it can it must start from the home. Ma'am, it must start from the home. At some point we want to see how things work. Okay. Thank you, Amos. Amos is watching us here. You're running to your appointment. So yeah, thank you for hosting me. Of course, this is your house, like you said yourself, Amos. You're welcome here anytime. Even if I'm not the one to host you, you'll find someone to host you on Pan African Daily here. Okay. Yeah. So thank you so much. Yep, Marshall. Cold or flu is attacking as the weather is extremely hot with occasional showers. Yes, Marshall is going through the same thing like myself here. But there's something weird about the global warming. So weird. I'm telling you, regardless of what they say, something is just weird about this global warming agenda. I'm telling you, Brother Heru, it's one. That's why I'm like, she's the gospel woman number one. Her Excellency, Madame Ruto, is number one prayerful woman. So, what's going on? Did you pray and God tell you to add, on your girls? No, come on. Yeah, so thank you again. Like I said, it's so hard to separate from Pan African Daily. It's so hard to say goodbye. That's the most hardest thing that I still cannot discipline myself on that. Okay, no matter how I promise, no matter how I promise, it's not working out. So, but we just try. Let's just try for tonight. Okay. Yeah. Now, have you seen our t-shirts? Have you seen them? We're still going to come out just with the logo ones, and this is what we're going to be branding on Pan African Daily. And so you'll be seeing me all through, just in the different merchandisings that we are having. As you know, we don't monetize, so we need a source of funding to get our t-shirts out there, to get our products out there, and ask you to help us. If you want to share it in your communities, in your groups, in your church, just to support us. Most of you are having your NGOs and your organizations registered. Do you want to take Pan African Daily TV project into one of your funding goals? Do it. If you want the roadmap and the aims and visions and the registrations and everything on our 501c, we're ready to provide you with that information. Okay. So thank you so very much. We see us tomorrow, same time. I hope we're going to be doing fine, all of us. And again, I say happy Juneteenth to you. Look at this cutie here. All right. Happy Juneteenth to you. Good. I think our closure is not playing. It is slow. Let's try and see.
You are watching the Pan African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want. Unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherlands calling its diaspora home. Join my voice.